Tell me when we're live.
We're live.
All right, if you're joining us now, this is the pregame. It's starting a couple minutes late, which I blame, I don't know, something on. Whoa, weird noise. Anyway, do you hear that?
No,
I
but I can smell it.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, it's just a weird noise. Hmm. Okay.
Could you be less descriptive?
It sounded like kind of a low growl, but it was only in my left ear.
Grrr.
Yeah, kind of
It
like
was
that.
it was
It
Mark.
was Mark. Well, hiya, Mark.
Hey,
We're about ready to kick off, and I will note that maybe I should save this banter for the actual show. But our fourth anniversary was on November 30th.
wow.
Yeah, so we are a belated birthday for us.
And you're just overwhelmed with that round of indifference.
I know. Oh, all right. Oh, and Tim Turner says, "Great column today." Thanks, Tim. This is one of the few that I actually read to the missus before I hit the post on. All right, it's showtime.
Hang on. I'm moving as lickety damn split as I can.
Just the quality spelled with the letter
That's
seven
right.
that are.
Our listeners and viewers have come to expect.
Hmm.
All right, here we go. Maybe.
Bants and Bants. Bants and Bants.
All systems go.
Bants and Bants.
Defiance.
Bants and Bants.
This rebel has a cause.
Bombs and Bants.
We begin as wanderers, and we are wanderers still.
Welcome everyone to the 152nd live edition of Bombs and Bants and Wednesday Rants. As always, I am your dedicated and humble host, John Wilder, coming to you from the penthouse control room of the majestic Wilder Industries skyscraper. With me, as always, is Mark
Hey, everyone.
and the Mrs.
Ho ho ho.
That's what Hunter Biden says.
Well, yeah, when someone asks, "What kind of woman do you like to date?"
Yippee-ki-yay. Oh, wait, that's a different
Mr.
different holiday
Falcon.
movie. Mr. Falcon. Yippee-ki. All right, don't forget
the
to like and
worst,
subscribe.
the worst edited for TV edit in all of television history.
Yeah, back when they did such a thing.
Yeah.
Or don't forget to like and subscribe. How has the 2 weeks been, Mark?
Pretty good up until yesterday. But
Well, share it and share alike.
no. It's just somebody I've been dealing with in a business capacity who's um, that I've had a very bad disagreement with.
Was he a tool?
Yeah, yeah. Blaming me for stuff that he didn't do.
I'm a tool. I'm a tool. I'm a tool, an unbelievably annoying tool.
Yep, there you go. I was
But other than that, though, it's been a lot of fun. So
okay.
had a good weekend and everything. How about you guys?
My week has been pretty good so far. The missus, how would you categorize? Yeah, it's a good night right now. You know. So anyway, I guess you know, we're all being so non-specific. This weekend, I don't know that I did anything very useful at all, except for I had some steak on Saturday. That's about as useful as I was. I ate food. That was as useful as I was. The missus, what was your height of utility?
I've been very busy at my actual job. That's why I'm
So you're
been
just bleh.
completely ineffective at this because yeah.
All right. Well, let's move right along. Um, on this day in history, do the thing.
The thing.
Where you do a sounder that you make up.
Oh, I had a sounder for this. I must have forgotten to put it in here. Let me see if I can find it. Because I know I did this. It'll take me a few minutes to find it here because I'll have to find the email. That means it's your cue to talk while I do this.
Well, yes. So, are we going to do a show next week? It would be Christmas, and I'd be up for it.
What, next week?
Yes.
Let's see. I thought I had something going on next week.
Well, there's Christmas. It's Christmas Day.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So, I mean, the missus, would you be interested in doing it on Christmas Day?
I can tell you, my wife would probably kill me,
Yeah. Okay.
and my children.
Okay.
They might even compete.
But on New Year's Day, we can, then, right?
Yeah. Yeah, New Year's Day should be fun.
All right. Well, I'm telling everybody it sounds like a new right now because the missus just growled at me, but that was the growling noise. It was a growl from the future. Woolie's joined us. All right. Well, let's move along. On this day in history,
Oh, I found it. I knew I sent it. I just had forgotten to open it.
Oh, I should keep talking because it's.
Yes, I did
yeah,
just
yeah.
find it, but I gotta
Okay.
do the thing.
So for our schedule, it sounds like New Year's Day is a go. Christmas Day, everybody gets it off, so be good, or be bad. I don't know. It's Christmas, so whatever you deserve. Yes, and Jim notes New Year's seems like a natural time for a show. I think so. I think it seems like a very natural time for the show because it'll be a brand new year of Bombs and Bants. And I'm seeing stuff because I can see what she's doing
know
to
you
bring it
can,
in.
yeah.
Yep. And tap dancing. Well, tell you what. Can we just play it as an outro, and I can go through the on this day in history right
Well,
now?
I'm almost there. If you'd quit talking to me, I'd get this done.
It's a blast from the past.
This day in
I gotta do
history.
this, maybe they probably won't hear it because it's not that long. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Debuting the brand new that you have bugged me about for weeks, This Day in History sounder.
It's a blast from the past.
This day in history.
Okay.
Are you adequately
then-
impressed?
There we go. Okay.
Really, that's all I'm getting from that, huh?
Yes, thank you. It was wonderful. It was fantastic. In 218 BC, Hannibal's Carthaginian army smacked down the Romans at the Battle of Trebia. 40,000 Romans squared off against 40,000 Carthaginians. The Romans lost half of their soldiers on that with this one battle. 20,000 dead Romans. Dead. Hannibal lost a few thousand infantrymen and a couple elephants. So, yes, indeed. They don't make them like that anymore. What's your favorite Hannibal battle?
It's been so long since I read up on the stuff. I'm not sure. But I mean, I do like the fact that he was able to haul elephants through the Alps and actually have a few survive.
Yep. And keep in mind the scope of things, the Carthaginians really were the bad guys. They really were because they burned their children alive. And it was actually had to be their children. They couldn't rent children to burn alive. They couldn't burn slave children alive. No, it had to be their children.
See, my initial comeback
awful.
to that was, would it be better off if they burned them when they were dead? Oh, yeah, it probably would have.
Yeah. So anyway, so that happened on this day in history in 218
And by the way,
BC.
I agree with Tim Turner. My favorite Hannibal battle was the one with the FBI lady.
Yeah. Clarice. All right.
Are the lambs
It-
still
Well-
screaming, Clarice?
in
I mean,
18
I think the battle outside Carthage was sort of cool too, with the fact that the Romans had figured out how to defeat the elephants
Mhm.
and got them to run amok.
And I'm going to say that
Did they release a
Paul,
box of mice?
Paul believes that we are still fighting the remnants of the Carthaginian blood cult today. That is their theory, and they're sticking with it.
Who?
Um, Paul,
Oh, okay.
yeah, 4chan.
Yeah,
In,
we can't go into that in any more detail if it's the theory that I've heard about.
yeah, pretty close. In 1863, Archduke Franz
You'll
Ferdinand was
have to
born.
tell me later.
Archduke Franz Ferdinand was born. And yes, it's that same guy. 1863, he was born. He died, coincidentally, in 1914. Who'd have guessed it? You probably could have predicted that one coming. And today, Keith Richards turns 181 years old. So, after the nuclear war, there'll be two things left: cockroaches and Keith Richards. My God, heroin must have preserved that man. All right. That was this weekend. That was today in history.
Didn't you forget something?
Maybe. What?
Wasn't the Emancipation Proclamation signed?
I think it was one of the amendments. I think it was the 13th Amendment that was signed today.
It was faxed. It was faxed on that
was
day.
faxed.
Yeah. It was signed on a few days early. Nope. Anyway.
And you talk about Franz Ferdinand. I always thought they were just always a little too poppy for me.
Too poppy?
Yeah, too much pop music.
Oh.
Not really ever a fan.
Okay.
You know,
Oh, you weren't
just-
talking about the band.
But if you
Never
want
mind.
to think about how technology could change things if they'd had it in the past, he would not have died in the assassination if his driver had had GPS.
Yep. Wouldn't have got lost. But of course, unless it was an Apple Maps GPS, which
And wasn't the story about that something about how the driver had gotten lost and the original guy who was going to do the thing was also kind of lost and was like having coffee or something because he'd kind of given up and then saw the motorcade go by and was like, oh, didn't that what
Yes.
happened?
But the story
much,
is that he ended up and he said, okay, this isn't going to happen today, and went and grabbed a pastrami sandwich on rye or something, and then wait, the motorcade. Well, guess what's happening now?
Yeah, no, it was fated to happen.
Thus originating the phrase, hold my beer.
Well, but here's the other part of this, and this is the disturbing part for me, is when World War I broke out. How did they know that there was going to be more than one? All right. Well, Jack, Conversation Street.
Oh, that'd probably be my cue. Yes, it is Conversation Street.
And now it's time for us to take down the smooth sidewalks of Conversation Street.
Since the last time we talked, Syria has fallen, and the Syrian president Bashar al-Assad has headed for Moscow, and he's going to become an ophthalmologist, which is really what he wanted to do when he grew up in the first place. He didn't want to be a dictator, but I hear that many of the tanks that Syria used during this last war came from Turkey with no charge, and everyone loves a Thanksgiving turkey.
Is the moral of this story when you have people that you think might become a bloodthirsty dictator, let them pursue whatever their original passion was, be it ophthalmology or art?
Okay, so his brother died. All right, his brother, who was supposed to be the bloodthirsty dictator,
Was his
died
brother
in a
named
car.
Art?
No, Art Bashar.
Yeah. I'm sorry, he
so-
was partners with Paul Simon, wasn't he?
Yeah. So anyway, Bashar and Garfinkel. So anyway, he was killed in a car accident. So he finished up at ophthalmology school and came back, and he got to be a dictator. Yep. I guess Willie notes that he and Rand Paul are going to go into practice. So he's off to Moscow. Don't feel too bad for him. He spent $40 million on the properties for him and his family that he's living in Moscow, which is like probably acres. All right. Next up, Israel has occupied a part of Syria. No, and they've noted, and this is an official Israeli statement, they don't want all of the land in the middle of the east, just the part that's adjacent to their borders. Yes, indeed, Israel. Um,
Well, I mean, there are good strategic reasons why they want to hold on to what they have because it gives them the high ground overlooking Damascus.
oh, come on. It's just like Mel Gibson or Mel Brooks, which is a very different person than Mel Gibson. They probably not had dinner together, my guess would be. But
Probably
Mel
a safe
Brooks
bet.
wrote in oh, the producers, he wrote a song about Germany that they just wanted peace. A little piece of Poland, a little piece of France, and there's Israel. Just wants a little piece of Syria, a little piece of Jordan, a little piece of Egypt, and just want peace.
I
All
know.
right.
And they'll just continue going round and round and round. I wonder how
Uh,
much of they're going to keep
how much what?
of Lebanon that they're going to keep.
Depends on if they can get a good deal on it. All right. A Russian general in charge of nuclear defense was blown up in Moscow today, which is probably Russia's red line number 5,231. Do you think at some point this might actually get serious?
It depends on who blew them up.
Well, you know who blew him up.
I don't know. I mean, Putin's had a lot of advisors and senior officials that have fallen out of windows.
Yeah, he doesn't blow them up. He just throws them out of windows.
Well, I don't know.
If he had fallen out of a window, we know it's Putin. If he'd have eaten polonium, we know it's Putin. But in this case, or if he had nerve gas, we'd know it's Putin. But
Yeah.
come on, he's got standards. The missus, do you think this is dangerous at all? The
Nah,
Ukrainians
it'll be fine.
It'll be fine. It won't lead to World War III. Especially since Ukraine
Hang
now
on,
has a
hang
new.
on. I have a thing for you. Maybe, if it'll play. I'll probably get an ad. That's the way this works, right?
Hey, what did you wish for, Betty? Huh? What?
Can't tell you. But you just spoil the wish.
This is so long.
Have you met Monique?
Sorry, this is taking
It's down the
forever.
hall. Second door on the left, Monique.
It's got to be at the very end.
Okay.
Maybe.
So,
Well, I was looking for it on my soundboard. It's just not there.
Gee, I'm real sorry your mom blew up, Ricky.
there you go.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah.
It was worth the
Ukraine-
wait. Come on. It's better off dead.
Ukraine has dealt with Alan Parsons, and they have created what they call the Alan Parsons Project, which is a new laser beam weapon. And rumors are the Ukrainians are going to put the lasers on the heads of sharks. I think that's a. But anyway, apparently this can shoot an airplane that's up to 2 kilometers high, which is for airplanes is pretty low. Mark, have you heard about this new Ukrainian laser beam?
No, I haven't. That's interesting.
Yeah, and there's a picture of it shooting, and the missus. Do you think that the Ukrainians just created another target for the Russians?
The question is, who would hit it, the Russians or the Ukrainians themselves?
Who can say?
Well, I'm guessing they're building it for drone defense.
I was just going to say maybe it'll be the drones.
There you go.
I guess
All right.
we'll get to test it out.
All right, so I hate to tell everyone there's no Jackass of the Week, so we will skip right through that.
Oh,
And-
next you're going to tell us that we've achieved total world peace.
No, but I will tell you it's time for 2 minutes of guns in 1 minute.
Okay,
All right. You ready?
I think so.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
So I have to say, I really enjoy watching ballistic tests because I always like to try to find if there's, something better about, certain ammunition. Maybe I need to switch up as, newer designs and stuff come out. And one thing I've learned is it's very
15
important to watch the
seconds.
tests with the thick clothing. And I'll give you an example. I was recently watching some videos about a particular bullet design called Black Talon, and a bunch of
30
people did
seconds.
tests shooting into clear ballistic gel with just the bare gel. Great results. And then I found one where a guy shot it into with the heavy clothing test on it, and zero expansion.
45 seconds.
Just something to keep in mind when you do your research. I'm done if you want to turn off the clock.
3, 2, 1, stop.
So
I was
you
completely prepared to just let the clock run out.
yeah,
Literally.
So you're telling me if people are wearing their Carhartts that the bullet just goes straight with no expansion?
Yeah, that's what happened in it. It was interesting. I mean, it was a different caliber than some of the bare gel tests because they were shooting 9 millimeter, and this one was a 10 millimeter round that failed to expand. But they had the velocities were actually like within just 5-10 feet per second of each other. So I think it's probably comparable between the two as to what the performance would be like. It was interesting.
Excellent. All right. Well, moving right along. It's time for Think Real Fast.
I'll get there. There it is.
I will note that Jim Wetzel said, Mark, that was 2 minutes worth in about 54 seconds, and he was impressed. So,
Thank you.
Drones everywhere, with speculation running rampant that it's aliens, or that it's nuclear sniffing going on, or it's food being delivered to Chris Christie. Mark, do you think that drones have finally taken off?
They have, and the problem is they're not landing. They're just flying around, buzzing around. I don't know. Maybe they got lost.
The missus, if these are found to be carrying breakfast food, is this evidence that the drones are part of the Luftwaffe?
Absolutely. And they're headed to Chris Christie's house.
Oh, the syrup. The syrup.
Delicious syrup.
Since we don't have any Jackass of the Week, any overall thoughts about the drones, or does anyone care? Mark, do you care?
It's mildly interesting. I'd found someone had referenced that there was where a lot of the sightings are taking place is actually in a corridor that was agreed upon amongst various federal agencies for testing drones. So,
Yeah.
I think we should expect it. Plus, I also understand that the FAA recently changed their rules, allowing people to fly their drones at night. So,
well, there you go. All right. So it's not.
And Chris Christie is always hungry. In fact, that is probably the best theory I've heard about the origin or purpose of these drones.
They're all delivering McDonald's to Chris Christie's house. Yeah. The fries, the French fries.
That's the picture that's up on the blog for for tonight's show. The missus. I'm sorry, I already answered that. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson just appeared in a Broadway play about gay people. Mark, since Ketanji can't read, how did she memorize her line?
I'm guessing she read it off of a teleprompter.
But she can't read.
Oh, maybe she had an earpiece and somebody whispered it to her.
Yeah.
The missus, since Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson doesn't understand the difference between state powers and federal powers, do you think she understands the difference between a play and television?
Probably not. Might not even have been aware that she was actually in a play. And I actually had audio from the thing that she was in, but God, my internet is just dragging here, and I can't get stuff to load.
Well, I've got plenty of stuff. Fat
Well, if I
Congresswoman
find it, I'll let you know because it's worthwhile.
Fat Congresswoman Delia Ramirez, a Democrat from Illinois, has stated that she won't go to Trump's inauguration because, and I quote, I am a brown woman, daughter of immigrants, and I would feel unsafe. As this man on day one announces all the horrible things he will do to try and harm the communities I love. Mark, do you think that Trump will cry all night about this?
No, he's probably happy. That way they don't have to structurally reinforce one of the uh, seats that she's going to be using.
You've seen a picture of her, I take it. Oh. G and Chris Kirsty, they're buds. The missus?
Yes.
We'll have to find out. As a Democrat from Illinois, what are the odds that the DOJ could just send her and her family back to wherever they came from all the corruption they would find in her, all the alleged corruption they would find in her past?
Well, not until after January 20th, so, you know.
Yeah. Moving along, Trump has fueled speculation that he's planning a hostile takeover of Canada, talking about Governor Trudeau. Mark, will anyone be left up there after they figure out they can move to Florida?
I'm sure there's people that enjoy the cold.
Don't you know? And the poutine.
Yeah, well, and the maple syrup.
The missus, do you look forward to the 3-day special military operation?
Yes. Who doesn't look forward to that? And it's 3 days, so you're getting, what, like 3 times what you get in a normal military operation?
Yes, that's right.
Very exciting stuff.
So I was reading, in preparing for this article, Canada has like 14 tanks total. And they've got like 25 trainer tanks, but they've got like 14 tanks. So, and they've got like 3 boats. So a military power they're not. California Governor Newsom declared a bird flu emergency. Mark, is this just a clever way so that we're forced to eat the bugs?
I think he's just warming up for the next election cycle.
Is that like the spin cycle?
Yeah, well, I mean, they only just finished counting votes like yesterday or the day before in California. So I'm guessing he needs to drag it out a little bit longer. I mean, if he could drag the votes out long enough that you could instantly start the new voting cycle, then all those people that count the votes, they could be perpetually employed.
They could. The missus,
Mm-hmm.
does this we can point and laugh at the Californians if they have to wear masks because they handled all of that so well last time?
I think a lot of them are still wearing masks. Just California, don't overestimate their ability to do stupid stuff like that.
If they're still, I've still seen people around here wearing masks.
So I'm looking for this. Okay. It's from the Babylon Bee, and the headline is Clarence Thomas wows audience with starring role in Annie.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, the bee.
No diversity. Staying in California for a bit, researchers note that California ground squirrels are becoming carnivorous and predatory. Yes, I used those 2 words, carnivorous and predatory. Mark, is this nuts? Is this nuts?
It's the ground squirrels?
Yes, ground squirrels.
Okay. The picture I saw showed just a normal squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
So that confused me. But ground squirrels make sense. I have seen ground squirrels munch down on each other up here.
Really?
Yeah.
Cannibal ground squirrels?
Well, you were talking. You were talking about.
You shoot them, and like all the blood and guts splatter out, and if there's other ground squirrels within like about 5 feet, they'll all just launch themselves right onto that one.
Wow. That certainly changes those happy cartoon squirrels. Man, my childhood was such a lie. The missus, you were going to say something?
Yeah, you're talking about our anniversary of our podcast. One of our very early podcasts we did, we had stories about Mark and I know, had stories about our experiences in the past with squirrels, and so yes, aggressive and violent. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Well, see, my
It's
question
not
for
a
you.
recent thing.
Okay. The missus, do you think Florida will complain and want their weird back?
Florida can keep it. I meant California. Whatever. It starts with a C. They're on the West Coast. I don't know. I'm still looking for my
All
thing,
right.
and I can't find it.
Oh, just skip. Just play the game that you're in. We'll find it. We can play it next time. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, in a press conference, told people to expect UFOs in future classified information leaks. Mark, are you planning on going as Julian Assange next Halloween and staying home?
Going and then staying home.
Well, okay, so when you go, that means you interpret yourself as a character. So you would be like Julian Assange, who was locked up for about 6 years in, what was it, the Peruvian embassy?
No, I think I'm going to go as a Teletubby.
Ooh, which one?
Well, I have to wear a really big mask, because to throw off people, because otherwise they think I'm just a middle-aged man trying to get free candy.
The missus. Do you think it would help WikiLeaks to raise money if they used classified ads?
Yeah, but then they would just expose the whole thing, and it would, they're not classified ads anymore.
That's right.
Well, they're not classified if everyone can read them.
In our penultimate think real fast, Google claims it may be accessing parallel universes as its quantum computer completes a problem that would have taken a regular computer a bazillion years. Mark, do you think that there's parallel parking in a diagonal universe, or is it diagonal universe where we parallel park? I need to know.
It's circular parking.
Ooh, that's steep. The missus, does this explain the drones?
As good as any explanation we've gotten so far.
Yeah. The physicists that I've talked to that seem to know more than just the stuff they're making up say, no, this is just a quantum effect. It has nothing to do with parallel universes. All right. Pornhub is going offline in Florida January 1st, when Florida's age verification requirement goes into effect. Mark, is this an effort to get young men back into the strip clubs where they belong?
Yeah.
It's very easy to find quotes saying that Chris.
Sorry. I didn't know that was going to make noise when I clicked on it.
That's what Hunter said, too.
Oh, boy. Go on. Pornhub. Young men back into strip clubs where they belong.
No, well, you have to have full employment. So, I mean, it helps. Think of all the servers that will, and cooks that'll be employed because of that. Because, they've got to make snacks and deliver drinks and everything.
Oh, this is to make Florida great again.
Yeah.
The missus says porn makes up roughly 20% of internet bandwidth. Do you think they'll just end up downloading more Tolstoy?
Oh, that's just a complete lie. That's well more than 20%.
The result's going to be just more cat videos. Because the internet was created to exchange cat memes.
And porn. Porn and cat videos.
No, they're just riding on the back of the enthusiasm for cat memes.
Well, one of the things that always
are you saying they misunderstood when they heard the term? They thought they were saying pussycat.
Yeah, probably.
So does it bother?
I think you're leaving off the word cat from that phrase.
I've lost it. So is it anyone but me who's bothered that when you say, "Well, you can't have kids watch this," and they go, "Well, then we're out of it. We're out of business in your state."
Yeah, but it's so typical of people today. So as another example of that, Canada, Trump threatened a tariff on Canada if they didn't do something to restrict illegal immigration and illegal drugs trades, coming from Canada into the U.S. And what did they say? Hell no. If you do that, we are going to shut down, stop delivering energy and other goods. So they want the illegal trade into the U.S. more. They care more about that than losing legitimate business.
Well, there you go. Crazy that. Crazy. All right, the missus, you can walk us on out of, or play us on out of Think Real Fast.
Think real fast.
And right into, I heard it on the X. I really like the tinny quality of that. It's actually perfect.
You like that?
I do. I heard it on the X.
Then I did it on purpose.
Yeah, we'll pretend that.
Yeah.
Venezuelan gangs are on the rampage, not in Venezuela, but in Aurora, Colorado, where the same apartment complex spotlighted by Trump just saw a brutal home invasion. Mark.
That's interesting. Well, I mean, why wouldn't, I mean, you'd have to expect that. The local government there, the mayor, he denied anything was even going on when it was already videotape of it out. So, I mean, they've got their heads shoved up their rear ends so far that they don't want to do anything.
And besides, it's just a few apartment complexes. What's the big deal?
Yeah, and it's not like rich people live there, so.
Yeah. People who vote Democrat.
All right. The U.S. just forgave $1.14 billion, a single $1.14 billion loan to Somalia. And now Somalia hired a D.C. lobbying firm to ask for more money. Any thoughts?
Yeah. How about we make the next loan forgiveness based on them taking back everybody that came, all the Somali refugees.
Or we can just...
And illegals.
Send them home. Demisses, any thoughts?
So Somalia was able to get $1 billion grant from the federal government.
As a loan.
And I can't get a loan. And I can't get a loan from the Small Business Administration? I mean, in Somalia, they use rocks for money. Come on.
Yep. And they eat dirt.
Yeah. What the hell, man?
And
except for the wealthy people there. Then they eat caviar.
But they're actually rocks disguised as caviar, so.
Well, we're talking about rocks as currency. During a general market downturn, Fart Coin, a Solana-based meme coin, has unexpectedly surged to a $1 billion market cap, capturing significant attention in the cryptocurrency community. So yes, Fart Coin is now worth $1 billion. Went up 10% today. Yes, Fart Coin. Mark.
So how do you mine fart coins?
I don't know, but do you think the power of the fart coin will just evaporate in a
No, I think it'll linger for a while.
Oh, the missus?
There's way too much fart coin in here. Oh.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
we're all 12 years old.
And people have put $1 billion into fart coin. All right.
Who was it that once said to never overestimate the intelligence of the American public?
Well, speaking of missing some intelligence, Duran Campanella, a prominent flat Earth, not fat Earth, flat Earth,
flatulent Earth.
Spent $35,000 of his own money to travel to Antarctica with the aim of proving the Earth is flat by showing there is no 24-hour sun. And then when he got there,
Did he fall off the edge?
no, he said, "Oh crap, it's round." She is flat like your head. Oh, she is round like your head. So yes, yes, indeed, $35,000. But at least he admitted it. So there's that. Um, and Russia has a free cancer vaccine because they claim to have cured cancer with the vaccine.
People will be lining up for that.
Yeah, and again, let's I'm wondering if it is made of pig iron and has to be injected in a needle that is 2 meters wide.
And they have to get a running start to inject you with it.
Yes.
Right into your eyeball.
It seems to me that there was a really popular movie about a decade ago or so that had something about a cancer vaccination in it. What was it? I Am Legend? Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way,
The zombie apocalypse will start in Russia.
I just see Jim Wetzel said, "Mr. Taggart, can we have some more beans? I think you boys had enough."
And in our last, I heard it on the X, and this is a story that really should have waited for Valentine's Day, but Derek Chauvin was granted access to Floyd's heart tissue for appeal. So again, he he should have got George's heart on Valentine's Day. That would have been sweet. But instead, he does get to chest George Floyd's heart. Yeah.
Yeah, so they can test to see if Saint Floyd died from something other than asphyxiation.
Well,
and it's
again,
only for the federal stuff.
All right.
Boy, that was more of a room clear than the fart sound effect was.
Well, speaking of room clears, the FBI is probing the LA deputy mayor for public safety over a bomb threat.
Lucky mayor.
Yes, so he apparently threatened to blow up the place where he worked. I'm thinking so he didn't have to go in that day. And you want to talk. Yeah, that's probably not going to end so very well for him. Allegedly. All right. Well, that is the last we have before I heard it on the X. All right. Well, any final thoughts on this wonderful pre-Christmas week day?
No, I really don't. I hope everybody has a good Christmas though, and I hope they get at least one present that is something they enjoy.
All right. When we next time we meet you, we'll flip the calendar to 2025. The missus, do you have any parting thoughts for anyone on the last show of 2024?
Nope, I don't think I do.
Not a one. All right.
No.
Well, on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for coming, and I hope everyone had as good a time as we did. This is John Wilder for Bombs and Bants. Peace.
And this is Mark, and don't forget to mine for your fart coins.